Let me first of all say that, how much I'm glad to be here and at the Institute of Peace. This is my first visit to the Institute. I'm really happy for this, and also I'm honored to be a part of this panel, and near Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya, who is, I would like to recognize that the work he's doing is really moving the situation for more sustainable, I would say, peace. Maybe the fruits are not directly visible today, but I'm sure that what he is doing and the whole team working with him is building the future and peace in the future. So thank you. Answering your question, I mean, it's a very, very complex question. I would like very briefly to say that the relation between policymakers and religious leaders is always complex. And viewed from the Middle Eastern perspective, sometimes it can be even not only complex, but problematic. Because sometimes it can reflect kind of manipulation or kind of looking from a policymaker's perspective for kind of legitimacy that will make religion less credible in its message on the social level. To take the other side of the story and the more positive, I would say, side of the story, we are witnessing nowadays, and especially in the Middle East and in the Christian-Muslim relations also, a huge step forward when it comes to coexistence and living together and building peace in societies and facing extremism also. I would call this in Adyan Foundation, I mean the organization that I chair, we created this concept of inclusive citizenship, which reflects in fact what Marrakesh Declaration is saying about the fact that it's not, when I say inclusive citizenship, it's not just saying that we are all equal citizens together, but we are all part of one community, including the whole diversity coming from different cultural, religious backgrounds composing this unique community. So what I want to point here is that recently, for example, after Marrakesh Declaration 2016, we had in 2017 a conference organized by Al-Azhar, where the concept also was supported, calling for the adoption, the full adoption of citizenship and inclusive citizenship in the societies, Muslim majority society or not necessarily Muslim majority societies. I mean, in general, I would say that this concept applies also to any society today. So the relation between policymakers and religious leaders on this level is how they can collaborate by ensuring that inclusive citizenship has at the same time its religious legitimacy, let's say, and so developing a religious discourse that give its legitimacy, but at the same time the legal and political framework to be really implemented within societies. I mean, in liberal societies, it's very normal for people to believe and to say something that is really can be harming, morally, I would say, harming the others. I mean, and this is a huge issue between and Sheikh Abdullah was saying that we should talk about and defend religious freedom, but also with civil peace and social peace, and try to keep them together. It's not just meaning that we have to put a condition for religious freedom. Religious freedom is absolute, but when I'm practicing my religious freedom, I should be aware also that and religious freedom is about practicing religion, and practicing religion is about being responsible. And first responsibility of a believer is to preserve peace and harmony within society. And this is why I think we should definitely, I would always and absolutely defend the right for religious freedom, but at the same time we should do the same efforts also within each community and socially also to make people responsible of their acts and their expressions also when it offends the others. And this is a huge problem. I mean, we worked on it 2 years with experts from different communities, especially Christian and Muslim, about the issue of takfir. I mean, accusing the other of being a disbeliever. How is this accusation, which is based also on religious freedom? I can believe whatever I want, I mean, about the others and their beliefs. But how this attitude and this way of thinking how we can show that it's counterproductive for faith itself. And so how we can make from religious freedom a challenge for theology, and to go for a more inclusive theology and more inclusive theological development. I think this is a crucial question. I wanted to go back to this question because the second one, I think it was more related to maybe American context, but definitely perceptions are very powerful. And working on perception is a top priority, either in the society here in the United States or everywhere in the world. I mean, media is something that has a huge power, and we are still lacking in using media. I mean, the power of media to spread the message we want to spread it. Just to give you an example, we launched last year in Adyan Foundation a platform called Ta'addudiyya, which means pluralism, online platform. Our aim, I mean, the aim I gave, the target I gave to the team of this platform, that it's to reach 1 million person from the Arab world in 1 year. In 1 year, the result was we reached 23 million person, which was an amazing and very surprising result. And for me, it's a clear answer that especially the young people, because out of these 23 million, 65% are between 18 and 35 years old, which means that the youth in the Arab world are looking for these values of pluralism and this narrative that is based on pluralism and inclusivity, but they are not easy, because they cannot easily find these on the online media. And this is why, I mean, it's crucial also to give the place the media deserves in this battle.